Guys, what have I said time and time again? If you're going to council war, if you must participate in the buffoonery, never get too high or too low on anything, because while you think bad news here good, we're okay, even though there's no we, because you don't work at the company. Bad news eventually comes to everybody. And right now, some PlayStation guys might be going through it. Now, it started off with word that Gears and Halo were going to PlayStation. I got some stuff to say about a lot of this stuff, so this is gonna be a pretty long video. I might do you guys a favor of cutting it into chapters, but I mean, no promises being kept there. I mean, you skip ahead, do what you want. Hopefully, you watch the whole video, but I digress. So, it started off with news that a lot of Microsoft's biggest franchises, Halo and Gears, were going to go to the PlayStation and the Switch. And particularly, I think it was the Master Chief Collection and the Marcus Phoenix Collection, the rumored Gears 1, 2, and possibly 3 remakes. And I saw Xbox guys getting upset about that. And I saw PlayStation guys, celebrating that. And I'm like, okay. Okay, but see, here's the problem, right? And if you know me, you know I'm always raining on idiotic logic parades. Those aren't the biggest Microsoft games anymore. And I don't give a damn how much of an Xbox loyalist you are. Let's just keep it a buck. Guys, like the moment they bought Bethesda, the biggest game they owned was the Elder Scrolls franchise and Fallout. Then Doom, maybe. Right? Those are the 3 biggest franchises. And then the moment they bought Activision, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, Call of Duty. Hell, let's just be serious. Before they bought either one of those 2 companies, Minecraft was their biggest franchise, and it was already on everything. Minecraft is the game that sold the most units ever. No, it's made the most money ever. Tetris still has sold the most units, but you get the point. Like, it's 1A or 1B, rather, with Tetris as far as, like, this is the game everybody's played type shit. So, Halo and Gears of War been not that. And it's ironically, the fanboys for PlayStation were clowning the Xbox fanboys about it, when at the end of the day, you can sit here and make the argument, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you making the argument, how is Halo and Gears not the biggest franchises for Xbox? Those are the games that made Xbox. Okay, what game made PlayStation? What game made PlayStation? I'll give you a hint. Microsoft owns it now. Crash Bandicoot is a fucking Microsoft game now. So it doesn't matter. What Microsoft is showing you is what Sony showed you 2 decades ago. We're moving on from the thing that brought us to the dance. These are going to be our new things. That's why God of War is a thing. That's why you haven't seen a Jackson Daxter game in a very long time. Or a Sly Cooper game. They moved on from those things that made them, and now their identity is something else. More on that later, though. Because we got a doozy coming up with that. Anyway. So the PlayStation fanboys are sitting there clowning the Xbox. Oh, I'm going to be able to play Halo on my PS5 Pro, and it's going to be the best running version. Yeah, but you... And what escapes me with that logic is you got to pay $70 for it, though, bucko. Maybe not 70, right? Maybe they'll charge you 50 for Master Chief Collection. That's still a $10 game on Xbox right now. That's a $10 game. I've seen that game physically for $10 on the Xbox One/Series X. And you guys are bragging about having to pay $50 for it. Fanboys, fanaticism, cultists never cease to amaze me. Their stupidity is leaps and bounds beyond any form of logic whatsoever. Why would anybody that's reasonable care about two franchises that have, if not taken the back seat of this machine, of this platform called Xbox, they've been thrown on the back burner of this platform? Again, once they bought Bethesda and they can say, we own Skyrim, we own the Elder Scrolls, we own Doom, we own Wolfenstein, we own Fallout. Once they can say, we own Tony Hawk Pro Skater, we own World of Warcraft, we own StarCraft, we own Candy Crush, we own Call of Duty. What's Halo and Gears? I mean, seriously, what is Halo and Gears at that point? Those are the things that got you there. But like Crash Bandicoot, they are no longer nearly as relevant. And Fable goes right into that boat too. Even though Fable's getting a reimagining, Fable ain't like 2025 or 2026 Fable, whenever it comes out, is not 2000 and what was it, 2003 Fable when it first came out, or 2002. They ain't the same games. They're not the same franchise walking into the same situation. They don't matter anymore. They don't matter anymore. Like Halo is good. They rebranded the studio and they're moving on the Unreal Engine and all that shit's cool, man. They don't matter the same way they used to before. Not to say that, like, when I say they don't matter at all, they matter, but they don't matter the way they used to. They don't. These dudes making money off Call of Duty. You think they give a damn where you play Halo? They don't care where you play Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a much, much more powerful franchise right now. So why wouldn't they put Halo in the same situation? Why wouldn't they put Gears in the same situation? Gears and Halo wasn't going to make them magically catch up with a 40 million console unit deficit. Like, a lot of people mocked Phil Spencer and waylaid him with insults when he said, yeah, there's nothing we can do to catch up. Oh, he's a quitter. He's quitting. No. He and his company, most likely his company, pay someone millions of dollars to analytically look at this stuff and say, is it even feasible for you to come back with the deficit you're in? There are people who get paid 6-7 figures to look at that stuff and say, this is what you need to do because this scenario is impossible. It's not going to happen. There's no amount of rebrand we could do to fix this. These are the same people that, again, told you weren't going to be buying physical games in 10 years, and you weren't. These are the same people that told you would have digital assistants in your home, so what's the problem with having a council? And you got mad at them. And now all you guys have a digital assistant from Amazon or Google or Apple in your home. These are the same guys who tried to sell you a camera with a console, and you guys bitched and moaned and complained about that. And now you motherfuckers have cameras as your doorbells. They knew where this stuff was going. You don't want to listen. And now the same dudes are telling Microsoft, who's essentially telling you, once again, because Microsoft always seems to be the quote-unquote the messenger of bad news, your favorite games are probably going to be available in every place imaginable, at least when it comes to these two publishers. You know, Sony and Microsoft are going to have to put their games everywhere to make money off of it. Because at the end of the day, the budgets are ridiculous. And I think there was a YouTuber, the Bruvian, a couple of fools is a YouTube channel. Shout out to him, because he's been on a journey. Let me tell you. He basically was like, his last video that I watched, he was putting up the percentages of PlayStation first-party games that are selling, like the Game of the Year, Astrobot, like something like 2.8% of PlayStation owners have that game, but it's so great. Y'all think they ain't gonna put that shit on PC? You think they want to make 2% of y'all buy that game? When fucking Mario Kart selling 50% almost? When Zelda launched with the Switch, it damn near sold with the Switch 1-to-1. Sony and Microsoft know they're not gonna see those numbers. All right, and there's a reason for that, and we'll get to the Switch 2 in a minute because I ain't forgot about that either. And I got actually some feelings about that, but like, let's put a bow on this part of the conversation, right? Like, now the ponies are upset because they just found out 2 more games got canceled, and Sony's still trying to do this live service stuff. I think one of the games was a God of War live service game, and I remember playing that God of War PS3 game, Ascension, and the multiplayer on that shit was dog water. So I'm glad they kept that shit. Nobody wanted that. Maybe some of y'all wanted that, but wasn't nobody gonna buy that bullshit. That shit was gonna be Concord 2.0. If you played that God of War Ascension game, as laggy and buggy, as lame as that shit was, multiplayer, nobody wanted that shit. And then I guess the other one was an unknown game of some kind. I don't think anybody said for sure concretely what that game was, but like that, the Spider-Man one might have worked out for them, right? But they canceled that. The Last of Us one definitely would have got some kind of traction, but they canceled that. And now they've canceled the God of War one. I think the other one was a Horizon multiplayer game, which might have been interesting, but like then Shohei Yoshida, the former boss of PlayStation, comes out and says, yeah, Horizon 2 didn't even sell as good as Horizon 1. Spider-Man 2 got killed by fucking Helldivers because Helldivers was day and date on PC. And it was before they did that dumbass you must sign in PSE and stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Sony can get their heads out of their butts, they're going to put that game on Xbox and get rid of that PSE and stuff. And that game's going to make so much money for them. Like, right now, what they're doing is they're fishing for something else to make that kind of money off of. Concord was the first bait. Nobody really bit right. This guy right here, yours truly, I bit, but I thought it was okay, but nah, largely people didn't care about that shit. They said take that shit back. Same thing happened with Foam Stars, which I don't think PlayStation dudes want a Splatoon, but whatever. And the same thing's gonna happen with a couple of these other games. I don't like the the chances for fair games, which they barely showed any gameplay for, just concept. I don't like the chances for a lot of that stuff. But like I'm telling you right now, if Sony doesn't get their heads out of their butts and realize like Helldivers on Xbox and Switch 2 is not a bad idea. You can make money off that. Just stop being stupid. You can make your single player games. You can have all your studios worrying about what they're good at and stop trying to push all this other stuff because and then get some of these studios to make some AA stuff like Twisted Metal. Make a small Twisted Metal game with online multiplayer. It doesn't have to be a live service game, but you need to readjust seriously because it's not looking good. As of right now, no one knows when Ghost of Yotei is coming out. They saying 2025, but they don't know shit. They saying Wolverine 2025. They don't know shit. Meanwhile, Microsoft got, last I counted, smooth 6 to 8 of them motherfuckers coming out this year. 6 to 8 games coming out this year. Like, Sony's getting curb stomped. It's bad. It's real bad. But they was teasing them about that. Oh yeah, Microsoft going third party. Like, what the fuck is Sony doing, bro? Sony at this point is no party. Like, so like I said, man, and Xbox don't get too high because you might see a PlayStation logo at this little showcase on the 23rd. You might see a PlayStation logo for the Marcus Phoenix collection that's being announced. Who knows what the one or possibly two, according to Jez Corden, mystery games are. You might see a PlayStation logo on that shit. You don't know. So don't get too hyped about none of this shit, man. Don't get too up or down because I'm telling you right now, as far as like what video games and the industry to be, that shit's done. And that subject I want to talk about, and it kind of links to the PlayStation fanboys, because we're going to stay on y'all, is the $100 GTA 6 rumor. You see, like, I think Dreamcast guy, prominent PlayStation fanboy, and a couple other dudes talking about, you know, this sets a bad precedence for the industry. Oh, $100 games. But it's like, I wish you motherfuckers had said something when them games was $70 that Sony was putting out. Because they started that shit. Y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all was cool with it. Well, if the quality of the game is of a certain nature, then surely $70 isn't a big deal. And I say to you in retort, if the quality of GTA 6 is of a certain standard, pull that motherfucking C-No out of your pocket and hand it to him. You can't fucking get mad about the bed you made being uncomfortable, bro. You can't. You look at the most played games charts every week. It's a fucking microtransaction filled free to play game at the top of the list. If it's not COD, it's Fortnite. Now it's Marvel Rivals. It's something motherfuckers didn't pay for or don't have to pay for that gets a lot of money off skins, guns, logos, icons, basically a bunch of NFT shit. Rockstar's like, oh, we're gonna have a story, but once motherfuckers done with the story, we're gonna have that online mode. And my guess is the money is gonna break down to $30 for Grand Theft Auto Online 2 or an expansion of Grand Theft Auto Online, because realistically what they might be doing is updating the graphics and adding a location in Vice City to go along with Los Santos, right? So you pay $30 for that, and then $70 for the narrative-based Grand Theft Auto 6 single-player story. Because I think the budget on this game is like 1.4, 1.5 billion. They gonna get that motherfucking money back out of your ass, somebody's ass. They gonna get their money back, right? So you gotta understand, because most of the people who play games on a day in day out basis are playing free to play games with microtransactions. Again, the Roblox, the Fortnites, the Call of Duty Warzones, Marvel Rivals, League of Legends. These are the games that Dota 2 rather, like, these are the games that are leading the way. Because of this, somebody makes a game to sell in the retail, the prices are gonna go up, and you probably gonna see a lot more $100 games. And won't that be interesting? Because the same motherfuckers who talked all that shit about Game Pass, which is nothing more than modern day Blockbuster, y'all gonna need to get a subscription. Because if you don't have one, it ain't gonna be looking too sexy for you out here. It's gonna be real hard to get your hands on games. And it's like, it shouldn't come as any surprise anyway. What is the best version or the most content-filled version of a Madden, a WWE 2K, I think even the fucking Tiger Woods golf game that they just announced this week, right? Or last week. NBA 2K. There's $100 editions of it that come with everything you really need to start the game and actually have fun with it. Because if you just buy the base version of the game, it's like prepare to grind and maybe get a mediocre ass character or some mediocre ass cards out of the card games they put in these, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? That you're not gonna have fun with that base copy of the game unless you just want to play a basketball football game. And most people ain't doing that because they gotta participate in all of the fun things that are happening around them. So it's already a thing. $100 games are already a thing. If you look at the highest edition of whatever game you play, any game you play, it peaks at like 80, 90, close to $100. So Grand Theft Auto is gonna do it as a standard, and I'm willing to bet there's gonna be a $200 special edition of that game. I won't be surprised. As a matter of fact, I'm marking it. So yeah, man, like, this is just where we are now, and it makes something like Game Pass even more poignant than it was before. This needs to be a thing. It seriously needs to be a thing. And now you motherfuckers are finally going to get it. And now people may not talk so much shit about Game Pass, which they shouldn't have been talking shit about Game Pass in the first place, because at the end of the day, it's a choice. Microsoft doesn't lock their games to Game Pass. They don't say, well, you can't play this unless you play it on Game Pass. No, you can buy the games if you want to. You're a damn fool if you're spending $60, $70 a pop on like 3 or 4 games, especially this year. Again, 6 to 8 games coming out. Like, you talking about having to buy a Valve, then having to turn around and buy South of Midnight, then having to turn around and buy whatever the hell they pop out with in June, if they don't pop out with something this week on, what was it, Thursday when the show comes up, because they might Hi-Fi Rush that shit and just drop it. You would have to pay for that. Like, no, just have Game Pass, you good. There was the Oblivion remakes rumored. That's $60. You know what I'm saying? At least 50. You would have to buy that shit. No. Give me $20, bro. You can play all that shit. We good. What's wrong with that? Somebody tell you, oh, you're a poor gamer, you're a welfare gamer. Tell them to eat a dick backwards. Because at the end of the day, one, they probably a pony, and they ain't got shit to buy anyway, except for Xbox games. Matter of fact, the only games announced, ain't that a bitch? The only games announced for the PlayStation this year are 2 fucking Xbox games. Y'all know y'all got Indiana Jones coming this spring, and y'all know y'all getting Outer Worlds 2 at some point this year. That's the only thing y'all know is coming out, is 2 games coming from fucking Xbox. And Doom. Y'all know that's coming out too. Again, another Xbox game. So y'all know y'all got 3 big games coming this year. And none of them from Sony. That you know about. That's a motherfucking problem. And that's why, like, you got a Dark 1985 and a couple other dudes, like, blowing up on the ponies. Like, we paying too much attention to them. Like, no shit. Every time I see a remotely cheerful Xbox post on X, or a remotely cheerful Xbox video on YouTube, it's a fucking pony in the comment section. Oh, Xbox is going to be third party. You guys don't have a console. You see all your games on PS5 Pro, where they run the best. What games are you playing? What PlayStation games are you playing? What games from Sony Studios? Because you ain't playing the show, motherfucker. That's the only game we know coming out this year from Sony. That we know is coming from Sony this year. Not some shit they gave some third-party publisher in China or Japan to only put on their console for like a year. The only game we know coming out from Sony PlayStation Studios this year is their fucking baseball game in August. Not August, but like July, some shit like that. That's it. Other than that, you don't know what Sony's making this year. You already know about 5, 6 games, again, coming from Xbox on PlayStation. I mean, on Xbox this year, and at least 4 games coming out on PlayStation this year from Xbox. What's it, 3? Is it 3 or 4? Outer Worlds, Indiana Jones, Doom, Call of Duty. There you go. You gotta be thanking Microsoft. They blessing y'all more, because Sony ain't. Right? But you can keep denying it all you want to, and some goofy ass news will happen at this event where it's like they'll announce the Marcus Phoenix collection. It'll have a PlayStation logo under it, and you motherfuckers will jump on the internet, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and everything else. See, PS5 Pro version, the Marcus Phoenix collection is gonna be the best version. Xbox has no games. Xbox is dead. Blah blah blah. It's like, but y'all gonna pay $70 for it. Them Xbox motherfuckers gonna get it day one in that Game Pass at no extra cost. But you can't see the forest for the fucking trees. You just want to win. You so stuck on winning that you can't see that you're losing. And that's been the lesson that a lot of y'all motherfuckers still ain't gonna learn. When that PlayStation logo pops up on some of them Xbox games at this Xbox showcase on Thursday, because I'm almost certain it will, y'all gonna get on the internet and brag about the game coming to PlayStation. Brag about the fact that you're gonna have to pay full price for it, because there is no Game Pass on PlayStation. And still not have not a goddamn thing announced from Sony coming out this year. Because you can't say Death Stranding. Kojima owns that again, and he just put the first one on Xbox. He's probably gonna put the first one on Switch 2 when its launch comes out in April. Because why wouldn't he? Again, y'all motherfuckers don't get it. Y'all don't get it. But that's all right. I look forward to you acting stupid on Thursday. Because this is a seesaw thing, man. And then speaking of Nintendo, let me try and wrap this up. Yeah. I'm about to give y'all I gave y'all about 30 minutes. That should be enough. Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo is at a comfortable point right now where they know, yeah, man, some motherfuckers will talk about this mug regardless. They dropped a nice little 2-minute trailer, little bit of footage of Mario Kart 9, and, you know, showed you what the machine looked like. Oh, it's bigger and it still got the same Joy-Cons. There might even be like a mouse mode or something like that, right? There's some kind of camera in, I think, the left Joy-Con or something like that. Yeah, oh, interesting stuff. So, I think the reveal was fine, especially if you don't intend to really talk about anything that's going on with it until April anyway. I think the reveal was fine. I think that there's an overreaction on both sides of the fence, people who liked it and people who hated it. And I will maintain, and a lot of Nintendo drones ain't gonna like this, but it is what it is. I will maintain that I am cautiously optimistic about that console. I think power scale wise, it'll be about a PS4 or a PS4 Pro, which is fine because really PS5 and Xbox Series ain't really doing too much beyond those, right? You got the right upscaling technology in that machine. It really won't matter, especially in handheld mode. But I think, as I stated before, Nintendo's due for an L, bro. Yeah, Nintendo's due for an L. Pattern says N64, dub. GameCube, L. Wii, dub. Wii U, L. Switch, dub. Switch 2, jury's still out on that shit. Now, we can sit here and throw in the unknown unknowns. Oh, well, there were handheld consoles in the mix of that, and so on and so forth. And now the main machine is the handheld. It's hybrid, so this is a lot different. And I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. But there are a lot of things happening and not happening that make me very uncomfortable with what this could lead to. So from what I understand, they're showing it for the first time in mass in April, and then they're also launching in April. I know they're doing little shows and stuff around the country that you can reserve seating at. You know what they remember? One time I went to a Nintendo experience here in Michigan in Pontiac. It was for the GameCube, and how did that turn out? Not saying they didn't do it for the Wii and the Switch One, and because they did certainly, but I don't know, man. Like, and forgive the heavy breathing, but I just think that they're gonna have a lot of third-party support at first, and then they might lose their third-party support later on down the line. And I could be wrong. In fact, again, I hope I'm wrong. But the issue with Nintendo is, and this has been to their benefit and to their bane, right? What console was that? Was that the Wii? I think it was the Wii, where there weren't a lot of third party. No, the Wii had third party stuff. What am I saying? They had a console. Was it the game? It wasn't the GameCube. Was it the Wii U? Maybe it was the Wii. I don't know. Maybe it was the latter years of the Wii. There was a portion of time when Nintendo really didn't have third-party support. Is my whole point. They didn't have a whole bunch of third parties. A lot of third parties were just like ignoring Nintendo because the console was too. I think it was the Wii. The Wii would get like the standard stuff, like EA would accommodate them with a version of Madden and a version of this and a version of that. But generally speaking, they didn't get a lot of the bigger stuff because they were a weaker machine. It was basically a GameCube with more RAM, right, and motion controls. But the unfortunate thing for Sony and Microsoft was that was their highest selling machine units wise. And that customer base had gotten so used to not getting anything else but Nintendo games that quite literally people buy Nintendo consoles for Nintendo games. And I think that's what really makes something like a Mario Kart being damn near one at a 50% ratio rather with the Nintendo Switch. I think that's what makes that happen. I think that's what makes a Zelda sell 1-to-1. Not that and the fact that Zelda Breath of the Wild was like really the only fucking game worth getting on the Switch at launch. I'm sorry, maybe what was it called? Hands or whatever the boxing game was, but no. If you didn't have Zelda, what the fuck were you doing? If you had a Switch and you didn't have that Zelda, like, dude, what are we doing, dog? Because didn't nothing else come out till like that summer. It was like Mario Kart and Splatoon 2 or something like that. But dude, the Zelda game, you need to have that, right? I hope it does well. I truly do, because the PC dudes ain't gonna do nothing but steal all them games anyway. They gonna let's keep it a buck. Let's take the cat's out the bag. At most a month after that motherfucking machine comes out, those games will be running on the PC. So they ain't gonna do nothing but stealing damn games anyway. So it really don't matter, because if Nintendo's not spending money on the design of the machine, then you know that security on the thing's gonna be dog shit. People gonna be stealing those games a month after they come out with the console. So I had a feeling that thing gonna be somewhere around $400, maybe $450 with the Mario Kart game. Who knows? It could be $500 altogether, because Sony has shown everybody that motherfuckers is buffoons, and they'll spend $700 on a console with no disk drive, and then another $150 with scalpers to get a disk drive. You stupid motherfuckers are making it bad for everybody. You really are. My God. So, yeah. It's gonna be an interesting ass year. I'm tell you that right now, cause everybody gonna learn this year, boy. Everybody gonna learn this year. This motherfucker Musk did the Hail Hitler salute at the inauguration. I don't know if that's the Asperger's speaking or his true intentions. Oh God, this is gonna be a hell of a year, boy. Well, sure this will go well, dog. I'm looking forward to it personally. But let's just, y'all better stop taking any of this fucking news and running with it. Y'all better stop, because it's always gonna be something bad. I'm telling you, that Microsoft conference, man, I'm about to wrap this shit up. That Microsoft conference, man, I'm telling you, there'll be a PlayStation logo on some of them trailers. There'll be a fucking PlayStation logo on some of them trailers, man. It is what it is. And it may not be on the show, but like the 4K trailer they release on YouTube, that shit gonna be on there. I wouldn't be surprised if Valve all of a sudden has a PlayStation version, because fucking Outer Worlds 2 does. Now, mind you, Valve is a new IP, and Outer Worlds already had its release on the original PlayStation. Well, its original release on the PlayStation as well as the Xbox. But if Microsoft really about making their money, yeah, they gonna put that shit on PlayStation. Again, the exclusive is, if you got Game Pass, you don't have to get them $70. PlayStation do its job. At any rate, man. Not too high, not too low. See the forest, not the trees. But I'm telling you right now, ain't nothing about to be sweet about none of this shit. Catch you in the next video. I have a blessing.